ladies, to episode 5 of... Can't read it. The North Remembers. Finally got my swag. This one was a big one, halfway point of season 1 of House of the Dragon. We're calling it the White Wedding, because it's got a different name. It's We Light the Path, but that's good and all. But all the weddings in Game of Thrones have had like nicknames as like the Red Wedding, of course, the Purple Wedding, the Black Wedding. So we figured with all the Targaryens having white hair and the white cloak to be stained, you'll hear about here shortly, White Wedding was a good one. And who doesn't love that fucking Billy Idol song too?
Well, the white cloak was stained in the last one.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's fucking stained all around. Dirty, filthy. First thing you brought up to me the other day, and it is significant. It's the first episode to both be written by and directed by a female, and they're different females. The director is Claire Kilner, and the writer is Charmaine de Grande, I think is how you pronounce it. And it's significant, and I think that's cool. But I honestly thought that maybe that had happened before, so that's why I didn't think it that significant, because I was like, oh, I'm sure that's happened before, but apparently not. Apparently they'd had female writers or female directors, but never both, which is okay, cool. And they brought some pretty cool elements to it. So the first scene, the veil, and they just show her for a second, or the first time they show her, they decide to kill her off.
Well, they don't make it plain who it is at first either.
No, it's just a gal, and she looks very tough, kind of tomboyish. Like, she looks pretty. I'd say she's pretty, especially if she, did the whole lady
She
stuff.
reminded me of the girl that takes Brandon.
Yeah, they go on his little quest. Helps him. Yeah, she does remind me of that. Like, kind of tomboyish, but still pretty if she wants to be. Or traditionally pretty, as you would call it back then, or they would call it. And then all you just see, she's hunting, and she decides to go off by herself to get some deer, and she runs across a dude in a hood. And sure enough, there's Daemon. And you find out it's Lady Rhea, his wife. And she just goes right into talking shit. And this is what I noticed was cool throughout the whole scene. He doesn't say a fucking word, dude. Not the whole time. If you go back and watch it, he does not say a word the whole time. He looks at her and listens to all of her little speech, like she's, like, oh, did you finally come to consummate the marriage? Maybe if the sheep want to. They are prettier after all. Now, that was something he said at the council table. So that means somebody from the council got word to her.
He's probably said it more than once.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's probably one he throws around a lot.
Yeah, well, probably trying to get it like a thing,
Yeah. He's very open about his distaste for his wife. She calls him out. I wonder if he was going to finish her off or not. But then she calls him out. And just fucking... It doesn't show up, which I thought was awesome too. Just shows him pick up the rock and then dramatic. Awesome.
Well,
awesome.
I guess they watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, they've watched it if they're fucking taking the time to watch us.
Okay. Well, if not,
the
horse flips over on her and crushes her, and
which could be left as an accident.
Yeah, he starts to walk away, and she keeps talking shit, gives him that last insult.
And then he's just like, you know what?
Like, what did she say? Knew you couldn't finish, or something?
Yeah,
like
I knew you couldn't finish, Craven.
Wait, and he's been fucking getting impotent with the fucking whore and with fucking Rhaenyra, supposedly. Maybe that's why the fucking hooker bailed on him too.
I don't know. I think
he's not producing heirs.
Maybe, but he wouldn't want to produce one. Well, no, he did say. She said she didn't want to have heirs because she made sure she couldn't have babies. But I do know that could be it. But we know he does, so that's not the case. I think that I wasn't sure if
who does he fuck?
Who he ends up with.
Well, they might jump that.
Yeah, but that's his kid, so obviously he's only with one person. I don't know, but
He gets over it.
He gets over
We'll put
it.
it that
Obvious.
way.
Yeah, he gets over
He
it.
finally wisens up. Was like, yeah.
Yeah, okay, she's older now. It's okay. But then goes right into Otto's departure, and he just warns her. He warns his daughter right off the bat. She's like, "I'm sorry. It didn't have to be this way." And he's like, "Yeah, but you let it happen." She's like, "I believed her." And he's like, "No, you wanted to, just like her dad did. But deep down, you know she's fucking filthy." She's like, "Well, there's no proof. If you could have just laid off." He's like, "You don't get it, do you?" Oh, you know, he's like, "You do get it. You get it, but you refuse to believe it. They will not accept her. They will not." And he is not gonna like basically like you just said, he's sick. Anyone who looks at him can tell he's not long for this world. Maybe a few years at best, but he's not gonna live to be an old man. Which means you better figure out what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You either prepare the boy for fucking ruling, or you better fucking bow the knee to Rhaenyra and pray that she's merciful, because the only
she
way
has to kill him. He's right. She has to kill all of the other
kids.
heirs.
Yeah, he says that too. He's like, yeah, she'll put all your children to the sword to ensure her claim. She'll have no other choice.
Yeah.
Like, even if she doesn't want to, that will be the only way she can be sure that she gets what she's promised.
Right.
And then she's like, shit, she's right. But I don't know why she's acting so shocked. Every time she's with the kid, she's always like, "Here, where's the wet nurse? Where's the fucking maid? I get this fucking screaming kid away from me."
She's just pissed because she fucked Sir Kristen. That's her Dornish booty.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a short little thing where it shows the king arriving at Driftmark. High Tide, which is not Driftmark.
I don't know. I'm wondering if Driftmark
is the castle.
Yeah.
High Tide must be the castle of Driftmark.
That's what I'm wondering. Or maybe, I don't know.
Whatever, we'll look into it. But basically, he arrives to no fucking standing ovation like every other time you've seen a king arrive somewhere. Nobody. Like the daughter and the other kid come out, and they come out like late. Like they're not at the door or at the front gate. They're like,
isn't
the kids are running
there?
No, nobody's out there.
No, remember the two were practicing sword.
They're somewhere else.
Oh, I thought they were doing it like right there.
No, they're somewhere else. And then
fact checking.
Yeah, we might have to. I kind of just, I guess I tuned out during that part. But basically, right after that, he's just like, Lord Strong, or the new hand, is like, "Where's Corus? He should be greeting his king." And his daughter's like, "He's very tired. He just got back too. He's waiting for you over here." And they're like, the king's just like fucking tired and dying, and he's like, "Let's just get on with it."
Yeah.
I don't care about fucking sprawls of people that I have to say hello to, that I really don't want to say hello to.
I'd have to
maybe Corellis knows that. Like, I think it's probably more a power play, like a fuck you play. But maybe he does know deep down the king hates that shit. Let's just get him in here. But then it goes back to King's Landing and in the garden. And Lord Laris Strong, which is like the weak, like club foot, because his foot goes sideways, right? Son of Lord Strong, and he's the new fucking Littlefinger, dude. He is like just sitting there like, oh, he's even got that creepy fucking look that villains have in like horror movies back then, like Nosferatu was like, yeah, excellent.
Penguin.
Yeah, so like, excellent. Petting himself. Fucking creepy, dude. And he basically, he basically fucking blows the horn on Rhaenyra's lie by being like, "Oh, I heard she was sick. I saw the maester took her some tea, specifically the Grand Maester." And she's like, "The Grand Maester? Specifically?" Oh, shit. She's all sad. Like, "Oh, she lied to me, that fucking hoe bag. And then he's like, "Oh, well, good to see she's not sick, It'd be horrible." And then you can just see, like, God, he's so vindictive and how she can't see it. I guess it's because He says a really good line in there too. He says, "When one is never allowed to speak, one becomes very good at observing."
Yeah.
So he's so meek and weak looking that she just doesn't even consider that he could be
Yeah,
fucking
he's been
playing
just
her.
nosing around with
All the high ones just like sit there in the corner. Fucking gather and see. Fucking pet her ass or something. I don't know. He's weird. But then it goes back to Driftwood or Tide, whatever the fuck. And then it's the king walking down the hallway and all of Corellis's fucking trophies from all over the fucking his many voyages, all the people he's conquered. And I didn't notice until later, after the king is gone, it actually has the fucking mask of the crab feeder in the back by his throne. But it's basically all of his conquests, and it's basically like a power play for anybody that walks into his throne room. It's like, these are all the fucking people that have been conquered by me, and you're about to fucking come in my fucking domain.
Yeah. And
I think it's very odd and very brazen that even though he's pissed at Viserys and he did all this shit without Viserys' help, well, he got some help from Viserys' brother, right? But he doesn't rise until the king gets to him. The king gets all the way to him before he rises, walks to him, and then kneels. And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like pretty, but I guess it is,
just chillaxing in his throne.
Yeah, like, oh, yeah, I was tired.
Yeah.
I just got here too. My bad. Should have rolled out the carpet for you. Oh yeah, that's right. You wouldn't marry my 12-year-old.
What did you want me to do? Stand that whole time? You hobbled your ass over?
Yeah. You don't look well.
Slow bastard.
Yeah, you don't look well. That young queen of yours is fucking taking it out of you, bro.
Yeah. And he kind of acknowledged that strong as hand.
Yeah. But she comes in and she's like, cousin, and she notices that he's like coughing like I am right now, but I'm choking on Kool-Aid. But he's like bleeding, and she notices, and she still asks, "Are you well?" And he's like, "Better than it."
Yeah.
You know, like basically. And at first I thought that was like, is that him being sarcastic? But no, that's him firing back at like her her stupid question, like. You can see, you just saw me wipe blood on my glove. I got it on your fucking glove. Don't fucking ask stupid questions just to be, because I'm king. Like, we're cousins. We grew up together. I took the throne. You're pissed about it. I got it. But I'm fucking coughing up a
I
lung.
think he also is like you said earlier, he's like, let's just fucking get on with this.
Yeah, come on. There's no need. There's no need for this.
I don't want to be here. She doesn't want to be here.
And the first thing he said, I want a marriage proposal. My daughter, your son. And the sea snake is like, well, we have some concerns. Our concerns are, what will happen to the throne? What do you mean? My daughter is my heir, and when I die, my titles and throne pass to her. When her and your son have children, the firstborn, will inherit the throne. Whether it be male or female, will inherit the throne from her.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, traditionally, they take the father's, the father's name, Volantis, and he's like, okay, what do you mean? Are you trying to say that my daughter the Targaryen should lose his dynasty merely because my daughter's a woman? Or the Targaryen dynasty should end just merely because my daughter's a woman, was born a woman? And then the queen who never was kind of giggles, like, that's what happened to me. And it's basically like, I think he's keeping that way and sticking to that after Rhaenyra to set a precedent. Like, I want to prove to everybody that no, it's not just about her. It's starting with my daughter to secure my line, yes. But also we're setting a rule.
Other heirs. Like, there's a fucking line here.
Yes, but also I want to establish a rule that it doesn't matter what gender the child is born. The new rule is the firstborn, no matter what the gender, will take the throne, which is like a new rule, which obviously doesn't stick around because we know how the Iron Throne works in the fucking the original series. But that's cool that he kind of changed it. It was out of desperation to just have a family member to fill the spot. But then afterwards, and like realizing, now he's setting it as like a rule. Like, not only will my daughter be it, but if my daughter happens to have a daughter first, well, guess what? My granddaughter will be.
So that would set the precedent that Daenerys has more right
that she fights for, that she fights for so badly, even though she's a female. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Your children can keep their, the children can keep their name. But when the firstborn does come of age to take the throne, they will take it under the name Targaryen.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then the Queen Who Never Was kind of just looks like, hey, I'm a Targaryen, so
Right.
she doesn't say anything, but it's kind of like, I'm a Targaryen, so that's kind of like a compromise.
You're still in.
Yeah, you're still in. Our family's still like right next to it. It's as best as we're gonna get, and it's gonna be a woman. Like, I'm good. That's cool.
Yeah.
That is a cool situation. It's a good compromise. It's more than we would have got 10 years ago.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then, okay, so that's the plan. Then them talking down at the waterway. Her and Sir Lanor, right? The princess and Sir Lanor. What does she say? It's a matter of taste. I mean, I prefer duck to goose. Can't say why. And and he's like, it's not for a lack of trying. A lot of people like goose. So I'm guessing that means that he's tried being with the ladies. It's just not his thing.
Yeah.
So he's giving it the old
I
try.
don't know how much try, because
He's entertained the idea, but he's not. It's not.
When he even got hookers, he didn't look that old.
No, but he's probably associated himself with females because, being the prince's son. So she basically tells him, let's do what we need to do. Let's do what our dads want us to do.
Yeah.
And make the babies, We can get through it. It's like 3.5 minutes, I'll fucking put my hair in a bun. You can call me Steve, whatever. And whatever you need, and we'll get through it, and we'll have the babies, and then you go about your thing, I'll go about my thing, we'll do it in secret, and it'll all be good. And he's like, all right, because in that mythology is very much like old world medieval times, and even less than 100 years ago in our times, when free love and that kind of thing was very taboo. That was the best chance the prince was going to have at getting close to what he really wants. What he really wants is to be with his little squire or whoever that guy was, like his close little buddy, who's clearly his lover. He really wants to be with him, but the realm will never accept that.
Well, as far as your parents betrothing you, it's like, hey, at least I got somebody who's
being cool with it.
Yeah, down with it.
That's not going to freak out, get all fucking up in my business with her lady problems and all that. Right. She's actually like, you know what? You like dudes? Hey, I like dudes too. So I get it. You do. We're going to do what we got to do to make babies. And he's that's the best thing he could hope for in that situation. Especially, like you said, he's royalty. So he can't just be like a slum off the streets and go be with men like whenever he wants, which is acceptable in the realm of Game of Thrones and like the whorehouses and whatnot. Yeah. But that was definitely not
for royalty.
Not for conduct befitting of a gentleman or anything like that. So he was definitely not allowed to be seen doing that kind of shit with his status. So he was like, okay, yeah, cool. So she gets back on the boat. The plan is it's all going to be good. He talks to his little boyfriend. They're like happy. It's all going to be good. Wonder who she must have a little dream boy too. Wonder who that is. They don't know yet. Back on the boat. Oh, this was hard to watch. As a dude that's been put in the friend zone a couple times, that one was hard to watch. We're been in the situation where a woman didn't take it as seriously as you did. Because normally it's the dude that doesn't take it seriously. So I have been that dude. So Sir Kristen comes to her with the idea of, he tells her about how you always talk about how you hate the idea of your
duties.
Yeah, your duties and your life being planned out for you and not being able to do what you want. Run away with me. I've seen how to get to narrow cities and this and that, or
I've
across.
been through Dorne, I've been across, like, it's fucking dope. Like, we go
get married there, and you can marry somebody like me.
Yeah.
And she's like,
if you live over there.
Whoa, like, and she's like, and he's like, you can marry for love, not duty. And she's like, wait a minute. The look on her face was like, love, dude. Like I like you, and I enjoyed what we did, and I want to keep doing it. But you felt something I didn't feel, clearly, because he is just like. And I told you. Okay, so let's continue what he says. So he basically says, let's run away, and she's just like, I can't. The crown is who I'm going to be.
Yeah.
All that matters. Yeah, it's all that matters is that I am going to be queen. I'm going to have babies with this important, this highly statured man. And, but that doesn't mean that we have to stop, getting down. You can still and because he's going to do his thing, I'm going to do mine. And he's like, oh, so you want me to be like your whore? And she's like, well, not like that. I want you to keep being my protector. And, occasionally,
yeah,
give me the old,
Just
what?
do what I say.
Yeah, as I say it, whenever I'm basically in the mood. And he's basically like, that's not going to work for me. You don't understand. I took an oath in your father's fucking Kingsguard of chastity.
That you put me there.
Yeah, that you put me there, and I broke it for you. I tarnished my white cloak. I told you when they were about to get down. He puts down that cloak, and he looked so fucking serious about it. And I knew there was something up with that. Yeah, that moment, he knew that he was fucking betraying his oath and wasn't thinking that it was worth it. And she's gorgeous.
He gave everything to be with that.
Yeah, and that's basically what he tells her. Like, I risked everything to be with you, and I basically put everything on the line to tell you that. And all that matters to me is my honor. That's all I have in this world, and I lost it. And I thought I could reclaim it if we, we loved each other at least. Yeah. And she's like, dude, they're smothering me. It was one time. And she doesn't really say that, but she might as well have, the bitch.
It wasn't that good.
She's like, that was just like one. There's like so many other dudes. There were like 2,000 dudes offered to marry me, and I just found out what you were like. I could literally go find out what all those dudes were like and go on to. Like, take it easy, bro.
She's like, I kind of been digging my uncle lately.
And he's like crazy, and that's like way forbidden. So,
not for them. The Targaryens.
Yeah, that's true. So then it shows David show up just unannounced and uninvited, and he just fucking walks in, and I like how he just walks up to the table, almost like he's getting a name tag is the shot that it shows, and he's just kind of like, and then the king's just like, yeah, get him a chair, like, I'm not going to make a scene right now.
Right.
Like, he clearly picked his moment, knowing that I can't make a fucking scene at this particular occasion. Like, but we're going to have words later. Or maybe he's just like, fuck it, who cares? He knows he's up to something, because why did he show up? Okay? So then, he starts to give his big speech about bringing the pillars of old Valyria together in this marriage, and a new age of dragons to rule the Seven Kingdoms for another 100 years and whatnot. And in the middle of that speech, boom, in comes Allison, covered in that fucking gorgeous emerald dress.
Yeah.
And they let it slip, so this isn't any like sweet ass searching or knowledge on my part or anybody's part. They basically say it for you right there. Lara says, oh, do you notice? Oh, he goes, Hightower, do you know what color the Hightower burns? What color the beacon of Howard Tower burns when they call their banners to war? He's like, green. And they're like, yeah. So that was like a statement. She walked in not with a group where she would get forgotten, like when they announced the royal family, the Targaryens. None of that. She came in on her own, unannounced. Everybody was quiet.
Had to stand up.
Had to instantly stood up to fucking greet her. She walks in, owning the room for the first time as queen, like with dominance. Like, I'm queen, that's right. She walks right up to Rhaenyra and looks her fucking dead-eyed in the face and just goes, for the first time that I remember, stepdaughter.
Yeah.
Congratulations, stepdaughter.
Mm-hmm.
What a blessed day this must be for you. And just looks at her like, and Rhaenyra, and the king's just like, and she goes to sit down, and Rhaenyra, if you looks over, and she looks fucking scared,
yeah,
dude. Like
petrified.
Like, whoa. She's never fucking talked to me like that before. She just pulled stepdaughter on me. Which means she just pulled she's my stepmommy on me.
Yeah.
Whoa. Like, this shit might just get real now.
Yeah.
And then the king's like, okay, where was I?
Just Strong's like, pillars.
Family.
Oh yeah, dragons.
Dragons and family and
100 years.
Yeah. Cheers. We're going to party for 7 days.
Yeah.
And then we'll party some more on the night of. And then we'll feast even more.
I figured the wedding like this needs to have a pretty big reception.
And then the dance begins with the betrothed together. And it's very tense and semi-sexual. At least it appears that way. It's supposed to appear that way to everybody.
They talk during, and he's like, it's not that much different than combat or something like that. Like, he's teaching her how to dance. Like,
yeah. And everybody's just like supposed to perceive it as their first kind of loving entanglement when few people know the truth. And that's when that Sir Joffrey something, I can't remember, the Night of Kisses. Mm-hmm. Kind of starts reading him. He's a lord, what's his name's lover? The boy's lover. Yeah. The Volantis boy's lover. He starts looking around the room to try to figure out, who the princess must be betting to have an arrangement or be so willing to take this arrangement. He's looking, and then fucking spots Cole looking over there, eyeballing them dancing and just looking fucking. Yeah. Like, oh God, she said no to me so she can marry and have this dude's babies while I gotta sit here and just like, which is protect like her. Why is that a bad gig, dude? Like, I get it, your honor, but I don't know. Being real with it, it doesn't seem like a bad gig for a guy that had not a lot of he already said that the opportunities of marrying a highborn girl were not really much of an opportunity when he was younger. And once he took the vow, it wasn't an opportunity at all. So he could still have his cake and eat it too. So basically, then it shows Daemon just sitting at the table, just acting like nothing's going on.
Well, and everybody's kind of dancing.
Everybody's dancing. He's just kind of looking around. And the cousin of Lady Rhea comes up to him and basically says, people in the Vale pay for their crimes, even fucking Targaryens. And he's like, who are you? He's like, I'm your late lady wife's cousin. It's like, oh yes, terrible business that. I'm strong, something like that. Yeah. But and at first he tries to act like he's acting, and he's just horrible acting. Yeah. And the guy's like, you and I both know this no accident. It's like, you feeling some sort of guilt.
Yeah. Do you want to get off your chest?
Yeah. And he's like, I'm making an accusation. He's like, here in King's Landing, men pay for their slanders. Especially fucking cunts like you, And he's like, speaking of my late wife, we had no heirs.
He's like, I'm actually glad I caught you.
You're the accountant, right? No.
Yeah, you're over Runestone, right?
She was supposed to get it.
Yeah.
And we had no kids, and she's gone. So according to law, all her shit goes to me, right? And then the dude's just like, he's like, I think I'll fly there tomorrow after my niece's. I'll fly there after my niece's wedding, and meet with Lady whatever, and talk about it. Perhaps I'll see you there. And the dude's like, Like he's going to be in charge of me.
Yeah.
Then the guy walks away looking all stressed out. And then it shows Viserys look at him. And Viserys even looks like,
did you fucking kill your wife?
like disgusted almost.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like you killed her.
You can really do that?
Like I knew you were like, you have no, like you actually, because he heard how she died. He heard that her fucking skull and spine were crushed by a horse accident. So basically, he's gathering it right then. Which, by the way, back when they were told that by Corellis when they first got there, Lord Strong knew right then when he heard that she had been, he knew that she was a good horse rider. He knew right then that it was Damon.
Yeah.
Whether the king did or not, he did.
Yeah.
The king kind of figures it out right then and is just like looking over at Damon like, oh my God, like I can't believe it. So he goes about his little dance and kind of, it looks like the little Corellis girl was interested in him and kind of batted him in the eyes.
Yeah.
Then went to dance.
She was like kind of watching the whole time.
And then he went to dance with her almost just to kind of keep an eye on Rhaenyra, but then also kind of talk to her, the dark girl a little bit, the darker skinned girl a little bit. And then Sir Joffrey makes his fatal mistake of walking up to Sir Criston,
giving him a lowdown,
and being like, hey, I know that you're banging the princess.
I'm banging the prince.
So, why don't we just do what's best for everybody involved? And you keep them protected, but then I'll keep your secret.
Quiet. Yeah.
You keep your shit quiet. Everybody can get all the best out of this deal. And again, I'm still standing by this. Because even if we want to go,
little bitch.
even if we want to go high honor and all that, which I still think you try to take what you can, give nothing back in this world. But I think even if you have honor and you go the honorable route, you're still got to consider the fact that he is, for the sake of his honor and him feeling better about himself, he is willing to disrupt the prince's life, the princess paramour's life, the princess's future, everything that is at risk because of the little piece of ass he got. He's willing to fucking throw all of their lives down the shitter just because his white cloak is tarnished when nobody has to know that. Nobody has to know. So I don't understand it's got to be that he just sees red. He sees red and he's convinced that little gay
I don't know. I think that for his motive, it probably was just seeing red. But it's just not a beneficiary that you're basically taking out the only other person that knows.
That would talk about it.
Yeah. Like, you have to trust Allison because she could fucking have you beheaded whenever she wants.
She would have. She would have done it anyway. She would have done it already.
Yeah. And then now you have more people knowing.
And the other two people are the prince
and the last thing
and the princess, and they don't want to lose their spots. They have more to lose.
They're getting married, yeah, so yeah.
They're not going to tell anybody because they have more to lose. The only people that really have anything to lose are me and this little guy. And this little guy's almost like taunting me because he didn't do it in a nice way.
I'm the Knight of Kisses, and he's like,
and
probably a highborn or something.
Yeah, and he kind of like knocked the sword over out of his way, kind of thing. Like, it didn't matter to him. It didn't matter to him the implications of what he was doing by bedding the prince. Not because they're gay, but because the prince is supposed to be betrothed, and he didn't care about honor, and Kristen was losing his, and he saw fucking just lost it. So Damon goes up, before that happens though, Damon goes up to the princess, and he's like, you don't want this. The prince will bore you. He's a good fighter, he's a good man, but he'll bore the shit out of you. You don't want that. She's like, well, it doesn't matter. It's a duty, remember? And he's like,
yeah, she's like, someone's told me this.
Marriage is a duty. And he's like, well, my duty's been just finished. And she's like, oh yeah, is that right? Well, cut your way through my dad's guards. Take me to Dragonstone. Make me your queen. And then he grabs it, and Viserys is watching the whole time,
Yeah.
just sweating bullets. Like, oh my God. That's like, and I think that's what he realized at the table too, when he realized she was dead. Like, and Damon was here, like, you're here to fucking take me.
Yeah.
You're here to fucking convince her to fucking call this whole thing off and run away with you. And so then at that point, when he sees him like grabbing her by the face, all sexual,
he's on her neck, like
in a passionate, it's in a very passionate, like,
she's having it too.
Oh,
like,
she's
tilts
loving
her
it.
head back. She's like,
and
Viserys
is just like about to have a goddamn aneurysm.
I think she was being serious too. I think she's like, nothing would turn me on more than to watch you.
She's like, go ahead,
fucking take me.
Yeah, just go ahead, do it. I'll go.
You're fucking Mr. Badass.
Yeah, she's like, I'll go. I'll go without a fight if you want to do it.
But you're not going to go without a fight. Like, you have to do it.
Yeah, they're not going to let us leave. And I'm the princess. I'm not a fighter. You're the fucking big man. You're the one that wants to take what you want. Take it. I'll go with you. And so right before that can happen, which I think might have happened.
Did her dad trying? Or he
but then just boom! You just hear, ah! And then you just fucking hear fighting. You can't figure out what's going on. And then you see the princess scream, Valerian, or whatever. Thinking it's him. He goes to get involved, seeing that his little betrothed is somehow involved in a fight. When he goes to get involved, Sir Kristen is there, fucking pops him one with a fucking steel gauntlet on. Fucking knocks him out. Knocks him to the side anyway. And then just pursues the fucking paramour of him, Valerian's, the Knight of Kisses, and just starts fucking beating his ass. He pulls out a knife, stops him from grabbing the knife,
breaks his shit.
Fucking just
continues just to fucking.
And then Valerian goes back for him. The crowd, which I thought was strange, they're all just riled up. Throw him back towards the table, dinner table. Now I don't know if that was in an effort to protect him or just to kind of like let these fucking two hash it out.
I don't think
they didn't realize who it was.
Yeah.
They were just like, let these two deal with it, kind of thing, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. Well, it's a fucking.
It's a party.
It's a Kingsguard.
Oh yeah, it could be a situation.
Yeah, so they're like, back up. Kingsguard's got this.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that. The Kingsguard. It could be totally that. Like, hey, he outranked. That's like the FBI.
Yeah.
Like, we're just patrons here at this party. He's the cops, and that cop is beating that dude's ass for some reason. I'm out of it. So he's just beating the shit out of fucking just beats the bejesus out of him. Hamburgers his face.
Yeah.
And then it shows Lord Strong. Look, during that time, Lord Strong sends his other son, the big motherfucker, there to just start fucking cracking skulls and just pick up the princess.
Oh, that's who he was? He was a Strong? Okay.
Yeah, he's the Strong son.
I recognized his face, wasn't
and he just picks her up and just starts like a fucking giant grabbing a fucking little person.
Right.
And she's yelling for the prince the whole time. And then he shows him just kind of... Sir Kristen just gets up, just walks out all bloody. The king is just stressed out, bleeding out of his nose, fucking just freaking out. Can't figure out what's going on. Corlys is standing up, looking. Everybody's just looking stressed out, trying to figure out who the fuck just got hurt. They're still on the other side of the room, can't tell. And then the prince looks up, sees his boyfriend's ring, and then just crawls over to him and just fucking wails, starts wailing, and it instantly just cuts to Sir Kristen walking with all his armor off and his cloak to the Godswood, dropping to his knees and unbuttoning his shit, and getting ready to fucking
lays his sword down,
like
pulls out his dagger,
getting ready to fucking do the kill shot. All that time is kind of blending in with the vows that they're doing, basically a shotgun wedding at the end. Viserys is like, okay, shit's going down, and so is Corellis. Like, my wife was right. Knives are coming out. They didn't even wait for the fucking wedding.
Yeah.
This was like a reception. This was the beginning of the festivities. The wedding wasn't supposed to happen for 7 more days. This was a rehearsal dinner, and shit went down. We got to get these kids married and secure that this fucking
Put
thing
them up
now.
on a tower.
Yeah, now. So, okay. During that time, they're doing a little marriage thing, and you can hear it. It's sad. It really is sadness in his voice when he's like, I am yours, and you are mine forever. And you can hear like his voice cracking, and he's sad. And she's looking at him like she feels bad for him. Like, sorry, the dude that I had sex with like took it way too seriously and lost his shit and hamburgered the.
She's like, I kind of turned him down for this wedding.
Yeah, like she hasn't even told him that yet. Which is, how fun is that conversation going to be that night? Like, oh, by the way, this all happened because I told him I wouldn't run away with him. Like, you could have just ran away and avoided all this.
Hey, it's not my fault. Your paramour's a fucking retard when to talk to mine.
Yeah,
like
why did you just fucking
like
keep
we're gonna
it quiet?
have some sort of a love square? Like
Yeah, like we're all just gonna hang out and have dinner and talk about it. You fucking idiot. We're supposed to keep it on the down low. And but then again, it was her telling her boyfriend in the first place that there was a special arrangement that caused the problem too.
Mm.
But basically, yeah, she looks at him all sad. And then it's like, okay, then they're betrothed. And it's announced. Sir Kristen is about to fucking kill himself. And then all of a sudden, Sir Kristen. And he looks up, and Allison is there. Allison stops him from committing suicide.
I forgot what it's called. Japanese one.
Harakiri. Harakiri is what that's called. But my question's here now, and that's where the episode basically ends. And then it shows the wedding being finalized. Like, okay, we now pronounce you married, whatever. And then the king fucking collapses.
Yeah.
During the
The
ceremony.
king was like panning out. You see him.
Fucking collapsed, and everybody runs to his aid. Crown falling off. They made sure to make that a point, which I thought was kind of cool. But then Allison saves him from killing himself. Now, that's the end of the episode, by the way. So, my question is, what you said her motives are that he's an ally. We know that the episode
He's
jumps.
evidence.
He's evidence. Oh yeah, he's proof.
Yeah.
He's proof that really happened, because without him,
That was confession. There's nothing.
yeah, without his confession, it's her word against the princess.
There'd just be another high tower coming at the princess with accusations. The king would probably fucking
lose his shit.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't go over well. Like, right when I marry you off, you're gonna come with me at this nonsense again.
Also, she's got to worry about, like her dad said, like she's got no choice but to kill you and your kids.
So you gotta just play the game right now, for the time being. So we know the time jumps because we lost those two actresses, the younger actresses. They were great, by the way. But with that time jump, where does Sir Kristen fall in, I wonder? Like, did she remove him from the King's Guard?
He's got, I don't know,
Banished?
Maybe they come up with a story
Yeah.
why he killed him. I don't think so, though, because the prince ain't gonna have that.
I don't know, to protect what's necessary.
I don't know.
Because he's already lost everything. I don't know. Yeah, that's true though. What buys his silence for the next 20 years that we know, or maybe not 20 years, the next few years that go by where they end up having children together? What buys his fucking silence in this? Because he's lost all he wants. I mean, I guess he could go find a new boyfriend to continue on that lifestyle with, but he seemed to be truly in love. The princess seemed to be the more the hit it and the quit it with Kristen. The prince actually wanted to be like, okay, this situation is good for me and my boyfriend who I love.
My husband.
Yeah, my husband who I can't have be my partner, you know. So that's a pretty big trip. And
Those two are the ones that should have took off across the sea.
Easily.
They could have just been fine.
The sea snake would have found him. He fucking controls the sea, man.
Yeah, now especially
King of the Salt Sea, that's
now that
right.
they're connected to the Sea Lord Bravos.
Oh yeah, there ain't nowhere he can hide.
Yeah.
There ain't nowhere they can
West
hide.
of Westeros.
Yeah. So that was episode 5. And I really enjoyed it. It's 6 is gonna be so good. I can't wait to
Just
see.
want dragons. If you're not gonna give me a bunch of titties, Give me dragons.
Yeah, dragons and titties. What are they? Isn't that what they call it? They used to call Game of Thrones. I think that's what they used to call Game of
Yeah, I
Thrones.
think it was a queen or something like that. It's fucking dragons and titties. Hell yeah.
But yeah, well, I'm excited to see the new actors play the older characters because I know that they will have a range of, and they have more years of like this anger and dissent or dissent towards each other. Especially in seeing them like age Daemon. How are you gonna age Daemon? Because I seen it.
His hair's long again.
We've seen age Viserys, and he looks like he's turning slowly into fucking Schmeagol from fucking Lord of the Rings, dude.